especially people coming out for the first time at Tea Party rallies or 9/12 protests, and then saying, what do we do now? And we have, the ability to come alongside and say, here's how you can be more effective as an activist. Have you thought about maybe running for state and local office? Here's what you need to do to run for office. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it, and we have some big goals for 2010.
That's awesome. Listen, could you tell some of the people that I talk about? I actually have an American Majority spot that I play on my show, so they hear the commercial all the time on my show because I made it up. There you go. Because I think of it being that important. But some people who may be new, I've been blessed with some new listeners since the beginning of the year. Tell people what American Majority is.
Cool. I mean, in a nutshell, what we are doing with American Majority is we're identifying and training up a new generation of leadership to promote the values and principles of free market, individual freedom, limited government at primarily state and local levels of government, but, we have federal candidates come through some of our trainings. One of the things I tell people with American Majority is we are firm believers in principle over party. We believe that it's these principles of the free market and limited government that have made us a great nation. We need more leadership making decisions that reflect those values. So we go out, we help identify and train people to run for state and local office. But the next thing that we do that's a lot of fun is people that want to be more involved and engaged in the public arena and the political arena, but aren't really quite sure where to begin. We take some of the knowledge that we've gained over the years and say, here's some ways that you can be involved online. And Austin James, the director of new media strategy for American Majority, does some great stuff online. Came out with a Twittivism guide, how to use Twitter effectively as an activist. So we train people how to be effective online, how they can engage with some of these new media tools. We also train people how to be effective in keeping elected officials accountable, how to build up real grassroots muscle. And the other thing that I'm hoping to do with these activists, they're coming out for the first time, we're giving us some training. Some of them are turning around this year after coming through our 2009 trainings and going, you know what, I think I can run for school board or city council, even state house, which is great because we need more good leadership with good values and implementing what I call freedom, implementing the policies of freedom so that we can be a free and prosperous nation.
That's awesome.
Was that a good description?
That was awesome. That was fantastic.
Was it good?
I recorded it. I want to play it again later.
There you go.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I recorded it. I'm going to play it again later because I think it's so very important. I often talk on the show about, it isn't that our political machinery is broken. It's that our raw material sucks. We basically,
I tell people our founders believed in a free enterprise system. They believed that government should exist but had a limited role. They believed that individuals have rights that are given to them by God, that these rights should be protected by the government, not encroached upon, as individuals have the freedom to take their ideas and turn them into product in a marketplace, leads to prosperity. All of these things work. The founders knew it. These principles, our founding documents are imbued with these principles. I'm not sure what the mystery is. When I look at what's taking place with some of the things that are taking place in state capitals in Washington, D.C., some of the policies being acted, these ideas, these principles work. Let's return to them. Let's implement them. It's not rocket science. I truly believe that we are still a great nation, but we can become even greater as we apply these principles at all levels of government and implement these policies, and that's what I'm hoping to do.
That's awesome. The last time we spoke, actually we've spoken a couple times, but the last time we spoke, people are looking for something that's going to work.
Right.
People aren't, there's a lot of folks out there. There's a lot of craziness going on out there. A lot of people who have never jumped in the game or jumping in the game, and they just don't. And in my vernacular, they don't have the juice. They really don't. Tell me a story. Tell me a story about a real American Majority success. You mentioned one to me before about some candidates in somewhere in the Midwest once that came.
I think one of the things that was a lot of fun. There are a lot of good stories. I tell people about Oklahoma. We identified 27 people to run for city council in 20 different city councils. Of those 27, 17 won. Wow. 16 had never run for office before.
That's amazing.
So we have the ability to give people who are new to the process the tools that they need to be effective to win. we've got great stories. There's a young lady in Arkansas who wanted to challenge I think it was 16-year incumbent head of the school district in her area. Challenged him, won. The great thing is, 2 or 3 years from now, that the House district that she lives in Arkansas, is going to be an open seat. I think she's got the great talent to be go to the next level. So, that's part of the strategy. We want to encourage people to become involved, even, at school board or city council levels, and the best will rise to the top. And I tell people, American Majority is trying to identify and train up a farm team of conservative leadership. And, if you think about that in a sports analogy, you got the A, the double A, the triple A, and then you got the pros. And we're trying to tell people, let's get you into the system. You might be at the single A system to start with, but if you've got the talent, you're going to rise to the top, and someday you might play in the big leagues.
And you know what? But here's the other. And using that same analogy, I'll let you go on. Using that same analogy, there are very fine players who may be in 2A ball in a small city, but that may be perfect for them for their whole career.
Exactly. And that was going to be my next point, because I want to tell people, listen, if you want to just be involved, if you want to be involved at the school board and that's where you want it, great. Because of all the issues that we face at the school board level in our K through 12 education system, we need good people who are going to be dedicated and determined and say, for the next 8, 10, 12 years, I'm going to be on the school board. I want to make a difference. If somebody wants to say, I just want to be on my city council, great. That's perfect. We need good people at all levels of government to be involved in acting good policy, implementing good policy. And, the argument I make in a lot of our trainings, people get frustrated with the policy that's being implemented. I said, well, who gets to implement policy? I said, I tell people the people that get to implement policy are those that win politically. So you have to be involved in the process. You have to know what it takes to win. You have to have good people winning, and then they can implement policy. So there's just a lot of different things that, we're working on, encouraging people, educating them, empowering them. One of the things I think is so much fun is when people walk out of our trainings and they will literally say to me in these terms, I feel so empowered after having come through your training. And I'm thinking that's exactly what I was hoping for, that you would come away with enough information, enough things to do that you would walk away going, I feel empowered. I now know what I can do to be effective. And that's really what we're trying to do with American Majority. That's
amazing. I'm so looking forward to it. And we get to experience this up close and personal here in the Tampa in the Tampa area on 29th and the 30th. It's been a long time coming. It's been tough.
Exactly. It has been, but we are coming south, and I'm bringing Austin with me. We're actually going to do something tonight, Friday night, the 29th, really focused on new media. I think we're going to do a 3-hour session that night, and then the next day is going to be candidate and activist training. But, they can go to the website, AmericanMajority.org. You'll see a map on the right-hand side of our front page. Just click on Florida. It'll bring up the events. I'm encouraging people, sign up, get involved. If you know somebody that wants to come or needs the training, get them involved. Would love to see a great crowd because of, just the importance of Florida on so many different levels. But I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to coming down and doing the training.
It's going to be a great. I think it's going to be a great time. And you're right. You mentioned the importance of Florida. It's amazing how my little state always seems to be a major player. We had never thought, and